Hello, my people. Lady Rosie here. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Yes. So to all my new subscribers, I do appreciate y'all for being here. Thanks for joining our beautiful family here. And to my returning subscribers, y'all know I love you. Connie Balmer, I do appreciate your subscription to my channel membership. And also my Queen Lydia Washington, I do appreciate you, and thanks for always sharing my YouTube URL in live chats. I appreciate you also, my Queen La Chachinelli. Yes, it's, I said love wins, but anyway, my Queen Love Wins. I appreciate you too. I love you. Yes, my queen also, Sussex Love, and all those beautiful ladies, my Queen Lottie. I know a few names, yeah. Yes, I appreciate y'all, ladies. I appreciate you, my queens and my kings. Thank you. Yes. So I saw one of y'all say in the message section that we cannot do anything about the tabloids because they are in the UK. Guess what? Some of modern papers belong to America. The New York Post belongs to him. And the legislators, they regulate all those laws. The cyberbullying, that's a crime in America. Everything that's happening to Meghan related to her race, it's somebody needs to pay close attention to that. Because guess what? None of us has ever stood up to address all this issue thoroughly. That's why those people are doing what they are doing. Do you guys know what they did and when dug the papers about the Archewell Foundation until you saw the governor of California up here? That's not fair. That's a criminal. You know what my dad used to say? A politician will change your life. So that's why we need our representatives. We need those legislators. We need to talk to them. We need to sit down there and tell them how our race is being bullied. The black race is being attacked on the media, paid for by the King of England. If I'm lying, I'm going to put his own son. He's going to tell you all guys the truth around here. And there are tabloid people who are quitting that job there. They are coming here to confess. What else do you guys want? I saw another sister who said we need to put a petition together for those people to send back Meghan's wedding dress to California. Because sister paid for her own wedding dress. So if we have anyone who knows how to put the petition together, please contact me. Yeah, the Daily Mail started this nonsense about Meghan's dress around her wedding anniversary. So right now here, the sisters say like we need to put a petition down so that we could get Meghan's trophy dress from y'all guys. You do not like Meghan, and I wonder why you're keeping her belongings. You do not like Meghan, but yet you're using the chairs that she bought in that home. You do not like Meghan, yet you're living in a home that she remodeled for y'all. The vintage homes built in BC. She remodeled it. Because I heard that home, you couldn't even stand up like a 6-foot tall guy, like a Prince Harry couldn't even stand up tall in it. Just imagine those medieval homes. That's what they're talking about, like $80 billion. Those $80 billion are fake. Because if those people really had the $80 billion, you know, the Arab people, do you see the kingdoms from the Middle East? When you see those kingdoms, you see the kingdom. Okay? When you see those people, you see money, you smell money. Okay? But when you see these boring people from this little island here, it's like, do they really have the money they're talking about? Do they? They just know how to bully African leaders. And right now, we're going to go to those Congress people. We need to talk to them. Somebody needs to do something about this cyberbullying. And that bullying is because of Meghan's race. Okay? And because of Meghan's race, that's why Prince Harry is being attacked. That's why somebody went and dug everything about Archewell Foundation. That is coming from the Secretary of State. Do you know that I own a nonprofit myself? Yeah, that paper comes from the Secretary of State. That's why we need these politicians. How was that document leaked? Okay, you know, sometimes they have those public documents on these websites. Maybe it's not leaked from nobody, but yeah. But what they're trying to do with the Homeland Security, everybody need to pay attention here. You know, everybody need to pay attention. Nobody's going to sit around there. But, you know, sometimes when the rules, lots of hard, harsh rules pertains to the black people to follow, but not for them. Their rules can be elastic. You can stretch it. But with us, it's black and white. Yeah, for black people, there are no gray areas. No excuses. It's white or black. Do you see little tiny violations I do tell you about here? Those tiny violations go to whatever, to traffic court. You're going to see the people who look like us only there. You won't see no white person. I've been to Denver County Court twice. Okay? I did not see any Johnson Johnsons. No. I see Felix Rivera. I saw Carlos Potomac. I saw those ones. Okay? So when it comes to the black person, the rules has to be like really tight. Right there. For any, what they call us minority. I don't like that minority connotation. We ain't no minority. We know who are the minorities. So Prince Harry gave some good juicy interview here that I'm going to play for y'all. So you can hear from his own mouth. Their dad was supposed to take care of him with his wife and the children. But when he married Meghan, the rules from the book, from the monarch book that has been there for a billion years, all of a sudden, the rules changed. Yes, we can't control the UK. Their government does not belong to us, but guess what? The American government belongs to us. We vote for those people of ours. And we have some good black people there who can defend us. And even if they're not black, if they are our representative, we need to bring this to their attention. This racism is terrible. It's hurting all of us. It's hurting our children. Remember the little kid who got killed a little few minutes here in Florida? The little baby. Em and Roger. Where did that racism start? It started from the UK monarchy. It started from there. The OGs of racism. That's why I told you, my brothers and my sisters, do not look at this issue from your eyes to your lips. This is deep. Very deep. We need to address it. And we need to address it well. With all our energies. We need to call these politicians and talk. I'm telling y'all guys, if we're not going to expose this on the bigger stage, which is our government, this cyberbullying, the anti-black racism being spread by Murdoch's newspapers. And that newspapers is trying to get in our government to violate everything there. It's time to speak up. And don't make fear whatever you stop you. Just imagine if all these people feared for anything against those people, the rulers, those masters for all these years. Where would you and myself be now? Remember the civil rights fighters? They started those little fights like this. They were fighting in their homes until they took them to the streets. And right now, you and myself have social media. We can make our voice heard. Speak up. Call the politicians, talk to them. So tomorrow, Princess Lilibet and Prince Archie won't go through this nonsense. Let's listen to Prince Harry. Here's Prince Harry for y'all. I'm sure some of y'all guys have followed this interview, but some of you have not. So here you go.
I don't think that we can ever have peace with my family unless the truth is out there. There's a lot that I can forgive, but there needs to be conversations, and then in order for reconciliation, and part of that has to be accountability.
In his new memoir, Spare, Prince Harry writes about the British royal family's complicated relationship he says they have with the British press, and chronicles the family dynamics that led him and his wife Meghan to step back from royal life. Share with me the significance of the title.
Within the family, as such, there's the spare and the heir. My brother being the heir and me being the spare, and so I think it was just a really good opportunity to choose a title that had been somewhat used against me for a long part of my life and own that title.
To the outside world, Prince Harry and his brother Prince William have always appeared close, seemingly bonded by the death of their mother, Princess Diana, when Harry was just 12. In his memoir, Harry writes about a more complex relationship, recalling verbal and even physical disputes between the brothers. You refer to your brother as your beloved brother and arch nemesis. Strong words.
There has always been this competition between us, weirdly. Again, I think it really plays into, or is played by, the heir spare and the British press's part in that, right? They pitched the Waleses, right, of which Kate and William are now, against the Sussexes, me and my wife. They always pitched us against each other. They pitched Kate and Meghan against each other.
So when they pitched them against each other, do you think that it made them kind of go against each other?
Yeah, I mean, without question.
Harry claims members of the royal family and their staff fed stories to the press and refused to set the record straight on false reports, especially about his wife Meghan, shifting a negative spotlight onto her in order to protect other royals. Do you have any examples of some of those stories?
There's a whole handful of examples in the book. It's so petty, but it's the bridesmaids' dresses.
Yeah.
Right? That was a real hard one for me because I was like, we've moved on from that. But while I was writing the book, we were on version 29 or 30, all of which involved my wife supposedly making numerous people within my family cry, which just simply wasn't the case. For historical reference, like, the truth needs to be there, and it needs to come from me.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I think she'd be sad. I think she'd be looking at it long term, to know that there are certain things that we need to go through. Or the relationship. I think she would be heartbroken that it's ended up where it's ended up. I think she'd be heartbroken about the fact that William, his office, were part of these stories. And William and I made a pact, made a deal that no matter what, we would never let our offices fight against each other.
You think he broke that pact?
Yes, no, the people that he employed broke that pact.
Do you think you have any responsibility in the breakdown of the relationship?
I'm without question, I'm sure. But what people don't know is the efforts that I've gone to resolve this privately, both with my brother and with my father.
Yeah, there was a little portion here with Camilla's wedding with all those sounds, the music instrument. So I had to stop that part. So now let's go back to Harry.
In a funny way, I even wanted Camilla to be happy. Maybe she'd be less dangerous if she was happy. When your father married Camilla, you wrote, I had complex feelings about gaining a step-parent who I thought had recently sacrificed me on her personal PR altar. What has she done at that point, you felt?
I have a huge amount of compassion for her, being the third person within my parents' marriage. And she had a reputation or an image to rehabilitate. And whatever conversations happened, whatever deals or trading was made right at the beginning, she was led to believe that that would be the best way to doing it.
And what is your relationship with Camilla now?
We haven't spoken for a long time. I love every member of my family, despite the differences. So when I see her, we're perfectly pleasant with each other. She's my stepmother. I don't look at her as an evil stepmother. I see someone who married into this institution and has done everything that she can to, improve her own reputation and her own image for her own sake.
As his relationship with Meghan got more serious and dominated headlines, Harry believed his father and Camilla got jealous. I was surprised when I read that you're in the car with your father and your brother. Kind of casually brings up Meghan, and then casually drops in that he doesn't have enough, he wouldn't be able to support you both. How did that make you feel? Where did that come from?
It's a funny one within the family, right? My father was ultimately responsible for both me and my brother and, our partners and our families. So it did seem a little bit strange that somehow the rules were being changed, or that I was being guided on a very different path, or at least my partner was being guided on a very different path, should we end up getting married.
Harry says women who marry into his family face intense media scrutiny, but when it came to Meghan, he says the British press used her race against her.
My wife is not visibly black, but that's who she is. The way that they speak about her and the way they treat her is incredibly relatable to everybody else of color.
So did it give you a better sense, being with Meghan, about how black women are seen, treated in society as a whole?
Yeah.
With the paparazzi playing a role in his mother's deadly car crash, Harry believed his father and Camilla got jealous. I was surprised when I read that you're in the car with your father and your brother. He kind of casually brings up Meghan, and then casually drops in that he doesn't have enough, he wouldn't be able to support you both. How did that make you feel? Where did that come from?
It's a funny one within the family, right? My father was ultimately responsible for both me and my brother and, our partners and our families. So it did seem a little bit strange that somehow the rules were being changed, or that I was being guided on a very different path, or at least my partner was being guided on a very different path, should we end up getting married.
Harry says women who marry into his family face intense media scrutiny, but when it came to Meghan, he says the British press used her race against her.
My wife is not visibly black, but that's who she is. The way that they speak about her and the way they treat her is incredibly relatable to everybody else of color.
So did it give you a better sense, being with Meghan, about how black women are seen, treated in society as a whole?
Yeah.
With the paparazzi playing a role in his mother's deadly car crash, Harry said that he feared the relentless British media coverage of his family could endanger Meghan and their son Archie.
I'm trying to put a stop to this because I can't ever imagine, and I don't want to imagine what that would be like for me or for my kids, especially when you talk about history repeating itself, right?
Harry writes that he suggested a possible solution to the royal family, a hybrid proposal that would have allowed them to split their time between Canada and the UK while still serving the Queen. Recently, you lost your grandmother, and I offer my condolences to you. Did she ever express that she was upset at you?
For what?
Or wanting to change your role within the family?
My grandmother and I had a very good relationship. It was never a surprise to anybody, least of all her. She knew what was going on. She knew how hard it was. She never said to me that she was angry. I think she was sad that it had got to that point.
Harry says his proposed plan was ultimately denied, and his security, which was funded by UK taxpayers, was taken away from him. There was no compromise with the family?
No, which was really sad because I still to this day believe that this was entirely possible.
There are going to be people saying, why don't they either be in or get out? Because if you get out, there's no hypocrisy.
I can't ever get out. And I'm incredibly aware of my position, and I'm incredibly grateful for the life that I've had and continue to live. But there's no...
Yeah, let's continue.
...version of me being ever be able to get out of this. I was stunned that my family would allow security to be taken away, especially at the most vulnerable point for us.
Did you think that they didn't understand your concerns, or they didn't concern themselves with your concerns? They didn't care?
I think probably a little bit of both.
Some critics are going to say, well, you're taking private struggles, you're making money off of them, you're getting paid from it, so it's almost as if you sold out your family.
The only way that I can protect us, the only way that I can correct those mistruths is by writing something, the truth, in one place. And I fully accept that writing a book is feeding the beast anyway.
Is there a part of you that can see you and your family going back to the UK, becoming working royals with the monarchy?
I don't think it's ever going to be possible. I don't think that, even if there was an agreement or an arrangement between me and my family, there is that third party that is going to do everything they can to make sure that that isn't possible. Not stopping us from necessarily going back, but making it unsurvivable. And that's really sad, because that is essentially breaking the relationship between us. There was something in the future where, we can continue to support the Commonwealth, then that's, of course, on the table.
And Prince Harry says he felt the responsibility to speak out against the racism and cronyism that he says his family faced in the British press, because if he can't do it with all of his resources, then who can? He also hopes that by exposing the relationship he describes between the family and the press, it will stop and hopefully protect other members of the family and future generations to come.
I don't...
Yep. Yes, you heard everything from Prince Harry. Not coming from my mouth. So just imagine the level of that racism. His father let it fly. His father has that good relationship with the press, the UK media. And that same UK media chased Prince Harry's mother to her death. The last people she saw were the tabloids. That's how the lady lost her life. And just imagine your dear father exposing your wife to that when you have a little baby. Harry decided to move. He decided to fight for the next generation, to expose everything. So this thing here, it's not as some people are taking it very light. This thing is really deep. Coming from that elite father of his, the King of England. Paying the press to do what they are doing to Meghan because of her race. You heard the reporter said that Harry didn't write in the book Meghan was being treated by the UK media a certain way because of her race. Not coming from my mouth. But that's what I believe. And it's obvious. Why don't they talk about all the royal family, the women, even the Sarah Ferguson who left the marriage, who still lives till today with the pedo prince? Do you see them sit down here trash her? They did trash her back then when she cheated and did all this mess, but it was not bloody, and nothing compared to the Meghan. I did my research about that lady, just to compare the the women who leave that family, what happens to them? Meghan did not even divorce her husband. They're still together. But look at how just look at how disrespectful those people are to Meghan. To the point of saying they want to see her walk around with no clothing on. Guys, I'm telling you, if we're gonna wear some fear, like this dress that I'm wearing here, you put fear on you like this dress, I'm telling you, this is never gonna change. And if we do not fight this one that's exposed out here towards Meghan Markle, it's gonna come and follow our children. And it's already on our children. But it's not as public. It's down there hiding somewhere. But this one here is a very public. It's happening on the medias. It's happening on Facebook, on Twitter, on what do you call it, WhatsApp, whatever the other one, the TikTok, on all those. They are bullying, cyberbullying this lady everywhere. Well, Harry, let's fight this thing. Because if we're just going to behave like Christians, we're not going to go nowhere. Take your gloves off and let's fight. Let's fight this racism. The systemic racism is there, it's hidden. But this media racism, we see it, but not as harsh as what the UK media brought on here. We see it on American television. We see it when any black person does something, commits a crime. They will go and look for that kid's high school, the teachers, the mother's home, the uncles and everything. And when a white one does the same thing, analyze people in churches, I'm telling you, they're going to say 2-3 words in like a couple seconds. It won't be that amplified on the news. We see that. Always. And to all these ignorant people sitting down there blaming Harry and Meghan for moving out of the UK, listen to this interview. Before you say anything, you know, before I come here and open my mouth, I do a thorough research. Before I will come here and confirm anything to you, means I already studied it. I'm not just going to come here and talk like those little British ladies sitting down there. They did not even understand why they were Brexiting. And when people see these people in Africa, they're like, really, who? Oh gosh, what this Oibo? What is that damn Oibo? When you look at some people's color, you think that color is kind of smart, or that color is wherever. It's just regular people. Lots of people who are not even smart. The people that you can't even compare yourself to. They are the ones here sitting on this social media around here. You know, Meghan is not even on social media. She's not. She's not on Facebook. She's not on Twitter. She's not on this one here. Where are we at? YouTube. Guess what? All the Meghan supporters are coming here to support them. Okay? But all the derangers, the lunatics, the racists, the stupid, dumb people, they come here to hate on Meghan, the person they don't even know. They don't even know what really happened and what caused all this nonsense. They just go, oh, guess what? Meghan made Kate cry. Who can make Kate cry? Kate is a bully. There was an article on Twitter. Kate's friends from school came here and said, you know what? Kate used to do the same thing on in college. She will bully people and then she's going to play victim. But you know, it's the nature of these people. That's what they do. They are always victims. Guess what? We are the ones who were mistreated during slavery. We were the ones who got tortured. We breastfed their children. But yet, they were the victims. With everything they did to us, we had no saying. But they even blame our silence on us. They had all kinds of weapons. They had all the chains. And yet they are the victims.
GMA Prince Harry is on a mission for social change. Days ago, he called for a more compassionate digital world. Now he's focusing on systemic racism. ABC's Zareen Shah joins us with a first on GMA look at that story. Zareen, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. It's one of the most controversial subjects, race. But Prince Harry's diving right into it. In a clip you'll see first on GMA, he talks about what he thinks is the solution to racial injustice. A member of the royal family taking on racial injustice. Prince Harry talking to Rashad Robinson, the president of Color of Change, to discuss systematic racism and using privilege for change, dropping this teaser on Twitter.
Rather than part of the solution.
Robinson talking to us about the prince's impact through these conversations.
He was really reaching out to people who are not yet involved, reaching out to people who are sitting on the sidelines, watching inequality, who may even think that it's bad, but haven't done anything. And I think what he was asking and what he was inviting people into was the opportunity to be part of making a difference.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been especially vocal about social justice causes since moving to America. The couple recently rolling up their sleeves to make meals for Los Angeles seniors and youth in need. And Harry with this acknowledgement that institutional racism is still rooted in society at last month's Diana Awards.
My wife said recently that our generation and the ones before us haven't done enough to right the wrongs of the past. I too am sorry. Sorry that we haven't got the world to the place that you deserve it to be.
Harry also recently penned an essay in a business magazine saying he and Meghan have been calling heads of corporations, urging them to reconsider supporting certain social media platforms that he says are tearing us apart. Now, the couple, of course, no longer has royal duties, but they are making their own rules, using their massive platforms to shine light on major issues and the full
Yeah, did you all hear? Harry saying that the generation before us did not do good job to address this racism. And guess what? He says the same. Our generation didn't do much either. But guess what? We are just turning 40. We have time to fight this thing here. And you and myself, if we have no time, we have to come up with time. We need to do it for our children. Our parents couldn't do it. Because guess what? Our parents are traumatized. They still had that trauma. My mother was born in 1962. And that's exactly when in America here, black people were not that free. And so that generation of the people are still traumatized. Those people were not well treated. You know, one of my professors here in America told me, when they were little, their parents told them not to walk from school with the black kids or eat together. And she told me a name that I forgot where they used to call it black people. And I don't know what really did make that lady talk to me about that thing. I did not say anything when she told me about the name they used to call black. and she just came out of blue, started talking to me. I don't know whatever. Maybe she looked at me like a white woman, I don't know. Or maybe it's just ignorance in her head. She just wanted to kind of project racism and or make herself, I don't know. I don't know what she really thought about. Our parents' generation was not free. And the people who grew up with them, like this, my professor, came to talk about that nonsense to me. The name they used to call my parents those years back. And she thought it was a normal something. That time, because I was so angry. And you know when I'm really angry about something that is a personal to me, it's hard for me to talk. I waited the next day. I went to that professor's office. I spoke with her. So you know what she said? She just thought to say that because I always talk about racism, so I needed to understand that the racism has come a long way. And they were taught that way, but she chose not to be that racist person. And she was a lesbian doctor. In return to the guilt that she felt her entire life, she adopted black kids. She has black daughters that she takes care of and sons. She adopted 4 or 5 of them. Her and her wife. So just imagine, I did put myself into our parents' shoes. What those people had to go through to survive this American racism. We saw the people who fought the civil rights. It wasn't easy on them either. And those people were like our grandparents. So just imagine the generation where those people came. They came from obscurity, from pain. But my sister, you and myself, we can do something. We have these platforms. Let's not just make the platforms there to look cute. We're not here to look cute. We're fighting for a cause. And we need to make our voice heard by the world, everywhere. We can do it. Something pushed them to stop the slavery. And our ancestors in Africa fought them. So we need to fight. Yeah, I heard Harry saying that he was sorry. It's not time to be sorry, brother. It's time to fight these people and expose all of them. Like I told you, they don't like to be called racism. They don't like nobody to point their racism out. They will change. Something will change. That racism on social media, it's terrible and painful. And I heard my sister Isabella Banks talking about it last time. Some people do not want us to show the negative that is being said, and they do not want us to talk about. So who's going to believe us? You know, the world doesn't believe in us already. You know, these people are liars. These racists. They will take all the race, the lies and everything and put them onto us. And guess who are the real liars? It's them. So for us to prove everything, we need to come to show you all guys the good that they're doing and the bad that they're doing. What are we talking about? What are we exposing? So we need to expose all of those together. And anything that's theirs, we're not even going to feel sorry about it. If any dirty something is happening in their house, guess what? Let's come out here and expose it. All this Kate Middleton saga, we're all going to come here. We're just going to play with them the same, their same dirty game with them together. What did they do to that racist lady? Where are her children? It's been 6 months since December. She hasn't been seen. So we're going to talk about these people's stuff. If it's a good one, we're going to come here and put them for you. If it's a bad one, we're going to bring all of them together. Because, you know, for YouTube, if you just speaking one-sided and there's no proof about what you're talking about, guess what? They're going to delete your channel. So you have to bring receipts and show them what you're really fighting right here. Talk about it or show it. Or put those voices, let people listen to it. Because you don't play with this YouTube. This YouTube, it's a kind of different kind of like a sword you're playing with here. So therefore, for legitimacy and everything, we're going to bring the thing that these people talk about. And we're going to debate about it. And some people like me are going to talk about it. And the other sister told me like we should be scared because YouTube might block us because we're telling the truth. No. I don't believe YouTube rolls that way. YouTube is here for people to tell the truth, actually. Only thing YouTube doesn't like is lies. When you're talking about something, there are no receipts. You just came up with some stories. But if you're talking about the truth, you know what? The YouTube algorithm itself sees Meghan Markle's name everywhere where she's being bullied. So I don't believe YouTube is that terrible that it's going to take the sides with racists. I don't think that's what YouTube stands for. So that's why we're going to keep telling the truth. And we're going to use the same YouTube here to expose these people. And share with the generations after us our thought about this racism. So they could also have somewhere to learn about what has been happening and how long it's been happening and how it was handled. So you and myself, before we turn 60 years old, we need to leave some marks. We need to leave history that our kids are going to sit down there, watch, and go off of. They tell you the people with no history are the lost people. This racism started in slavery, in colonial time, and it's still till today. In some areas, it's hidden. In some areas, it's done low-key. But the one done to Meghan Markle is public. On all platforms. Every single one of them. Go to Google. Type see the most awful thing that you're gonna be confused yourself. You're gonna ask yourself, what did this little kid do? Yeah, listen to this one here.
And obviously, it's so much easier for them to blame anything uncomfortable on racism, rather than actually address the fact that much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
So is it normal for, and do you think it's true, that some of the royal households have been leaking on the other royal households, like Meghan and Harry?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they can deny it all they like till they're blue in the face, but there's been an awful lot of leaking, particularly from Kensington Palace, about how things were developing, and that was a palace that both of them were representing, being represented by the same people.
The firm got alarmed that this couple were getting bigger than William and Kate, and there was some briefing against them that got completely out of control. And it went very badly for Meghan.
Harry and Meghan became such a popular couple. It put everybody's noses out of joint. The establishment wanted to retain the monarchy as it was, to boost William and Kate, and the media, the Daily Mail and the Telegraph in particular, fed those lines.
Well, I agree with everything until you said the last bit. I think that somebody in the palace decided to take them down a peg or two, and it went too far.
Absolutely.
But that's all history.
Yeah, those are a bunch of tabloids talking. And the one you couldn't hear very loud, the voice was too low. It's the same video. Somebody did put them together. But the person was saying the palace got so frustrated because Harry and Meghan were so popular and they looked better. So that's why they did not want them there anymore. They did not like Harry and Meghan's popularity. They wanted to do everything for the future monarch, William, who's going to be the future king. So they want his popularity to be up there with no personality. The only personality he has is a personality disorder. Yeah, he at least has, from my book, he has at least 2 or 3 personality disorder, including the substance-related disorder. That's all he has. He can't keep nobody together. He can't even keep his wife in his house. He brought his wife to announce terrible diagnosis. Meanwhile, he was attending to some rose bushes somewhere. Look at the person we have. So guess what? The people working in palace are leaking news. They're leaking information, anything to the media. And how's that happening? That tells you that firm is a firm full of unqualified individuals. You know where I work? I work with people. And there is no way anyone's information is going to be leaked to nobody. Or anyone's diagnosis is going to be leaked to nobody where I work. All those laws and everything is protected by HIPAA. So you're telling me a firm which is a big monarchy around the world doesn't have any set of rules that's put together, that so can be spoken to in public, can't be leaked to the media, or can't be what? Well, that tells you that king himself is not a smart guy. And the heir, he's back there. That's why he keeps fighting with Harry. Because you know that Harry kid is very well spoken, smart kid. The same as his wife. Look at them. When you look at those two coming into a room, they light up the room. Their presence. When you look at Meghan, you turn your head to look at her. That's not the same thing you can say about Kate. She's very masculine. There's not any femininity to that Kate. I don't know if you guys say height is called beauty. I don't know what y'all guys' definition of booty, not booty, but beauty is. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's all the same to me. We are at the same point, at some point around here, she had BBL. So we want to see that booty, actually. Allegedly, it was said on social media, it's not coming from me. Don't come for me. Google around here. There were rumors. Allegedly, she went and got BBL. Maybe that BBL could have shaped her a little bit. Transform that masculinity into femininity. Like Meghan Markle. So did you hear that little tiny part there where Jeremy was saying? Harry and Meghan were becoming a little bit popular than William and Kate. Because those people, they're certain type. Mucho diferente. Yeah, let's go about these people leaking information to the media. I mean, seriously? How does that even happen? I'm sure they're being sent by someone. Because you know the way those people respect their monarch, the way they are scared of that monarchy. I don't see them like sit around there, start spreading news and rumors or lies without being given a red light to do so. I know these tabloids are also covering themselves. Instead of these ones here, this one here, y'all know his name is Dan. I don't know wherever they. One thing I do tell you, I don't really pay much attention to kind of remember these people's names. Because the names itches my brain the wrong way. And I don't really like to learn dumb people's names anyway. They just don't want to say that it's coming from William's secretary or something like that. They just want to blame it on the entire palace. Who from the palace? Because I don't believe these people who are getting paid by this guy with terrible ego, he's just going to be like, okay, this so-and-so went and leaked the information, and when he's sitting down there eating with Murdochs. That's who Prince William hangs around with. The Murdoch paper people. Those are his buddies. And now you're sitting down there blaming it on the poor people in the palace. The people who are getting paid $28,000. These people are so miserable. You have to be super miserable and very broke to sit down there hating on people. Well, because if you're getting paid $28,000 a year, tell me how much money are you earning like a month to survive? Okay, maybe they do have free homes. Probably. But still. $28,000 with this recession. I'm waiting for the one who's gonna quit, who's gonna come out here and spill the real true bean, like spill the beans, or spill the rice, spill the tea, chai. Well, the Indian people say don't call tea chai, just don't call tea masala tea. Yeah, did y'all hear the part that Prince Harry said that Camilla was also leaking information to the tabloids? So these tabloids can't even say her name. This mistress worked so hard. She's really giving all the mistresses she's giving them hope. Because a mistress became a queen. And because of the terrible morals, has no fear to sell her husband's son to the media. What I do tell you, this lady doesn't like these kids. Even the other one, William Parker Bowles, believing he is a Parker Bowles son. Camilla doesn't like him. All of those children remind her of their mother, their beautiful mother, Diana. I stayed there. She doesn't like him. So in order for her to look nice, she's like, well, guess what you want? Hey, Dan, here. So and so and so, here. And so and so and so, here. Get him. Just to clear me up. I didn't do nothing. I was not cheating on my husband, the Parker Ball. That name is so funny. What, how do you... Yeah, you know, some of those names I don't like saying them. Because those kind of names gonna make me sin for nothing. Parker Balls. Well, so yeah. That's why Prince William, Harry said, that Parker Balls lady's leaking stuff about him. So she could look good. But guess what? It worked. Poor children. I feel sorry for Diana's kids. But that other one there, I don't really feel that. Well, not kids, but a kid. I feel sorry for Diana's kid. Well, Diana's grandbabies with Meghan Markle. I feel sorry for them. It's so sad. All right, family. We're going to meet on Isabella Banks tonight. So I am going to leave this right here because y'all know me. I can sit down here and talk. Yes, so please subscribe to Isabella Banks' channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to all the Sussex Friendly channel. Yes, seriously. Seriously, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my queens and my kings. Let's go to all those channels and subscribe. Okay? And I'm going to see you all tonight. I love you. And you all take care. Bye.